Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to, well, usually Monday motivation / Tuesday. I can't even think of an adjective right now off the top of my head. I am just so excited that we have Miss Kristy Hull, Diamond Ambassador, with us tonight, and she is going to share her testimony and just some little nuggets of knowledge for us and whatever else. I told her that we're an open book. We're like sponges. We just want to hear from you. So super duper excited. I'm just going to hand it over to you, Kristy, and you just do your thing.
Okay. So like Hillary said, my name is Kristy Hull, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador. I live in a teeny tiny town of 282 people in Prattsville, Arkansas. And I am coming up on 4 years with Plexus, which just seems so crazy because sometimes it seems like I just started, and then other times it seems like I've been doing this for forever. But regardless, I love it. So really quickly, my testimony is, you guys, when I got started with Plexus, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was doing, and I definitely didn't know why I was signing up. My sponsor, Rebecca Folks, she had cold messaged me about 4 months before I ever signed up and told me that she was doing it. She had just signed up, wanted me to do it with her, kind of gave me 4 or 5 reasons of why she thought I would be successful and wanted to send me some information. Well, was not interested at all, but I can't tell people no. So I just told her to send the stuff over, never looked at it. But she planted a seed. So I started following her and seeing more and more Plexus stuff and actually paying attention to it. And so one day, sitting at my desk, my lunch break in November, I thought, it's $34.95. Like, what do you have to lose? At the time, I was drinking 7 to 8 large Cokes a day. So more than $34 a day in large Cokes. Super embarrassing, but that's just the truth of it. So I signed up, and I'll be honest, I did not have much hope in this. I had done network marketing about 10, 12 years ago for about 3 or 4 months. And I absolutely hated it because I had to have those parties. I had to handle people's money, had to deliver products. And I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't know that because I'm acting like very out there on social media, but I really am an introvert. So parties are my worst fear. So that's just kind of what I thought network marketing was about. And I was one of those people that was very skeptical, and I thought I just can't be successful in it. But I thought I'm going to give it a chance for $34.95. And so my big goal with Plexus, you guys, was that if I could be making $500 a month by the end of my first full year, that I would feel like I had hit the jackpot with this company. And so signed up in November, and January I went silver, and I think that check was about $782 or something like that. And I was like, holy crap, like I'm freaking out here, I hit my year-end goal. And so I thought, okay, maybe there's actually something to this awesome comp plan that people keep raving about. And these products, I'm already seeing them change people's lives in my circle. So maybe I should just go all in and dream really big. So I thought, okay, I want to be an Emerald a year into the company. I needed a new car. My car had about 200,000 miles on it at this point. I had an hour to and from commute to work every day. And so I was going to be needing a car soon. And you guys, I did it. A year into the company, I hit Emerald, and that was literally fitting Plexus into the nooks and the crannies of my day. I worked a very demanding full-time job, 5 days a week. I ran a small construction company. I pretty much ran the office, ran the field, and there was a lot on my shoulders, but I did my Plexus stuff. I listened to calls. I followed up with people via voice messenger on my drive to and from work. On my lunch break, instead of wasting time, I would work my Plexus business. That's when I'd post on social media. That's when I'd send out those messages. And then in the evening, when I got home from work finally at 8 o'clock at night, I gave up that hour or two of TV time that I really didn't care to be watching anyways, and spent it on my Plexus business. And it paid off. And so a couple months later, after I went Emerald, so 14 months, I guess, into the company, January 2015, I hit Sapphire. And I remember Rebecca sent me flowers to my office, and then she called me and she said, okay, so are you going to quit your job right now? And I was like, Rebecca, I never started Plexus to quit my job. Like, I love the field I'm in. I love what I do. I'm good. Like, I can handle both of these. And she was like, okay, well, we'll talk about it when you get to Diamond. And I was just like, don't put that pressure on me. But little did I know that 3 days later, everything was going to completely change for us. And I was finally going to figure out why I had said yes to Plexus and why I feel like God had put this in my life. So if you've watched my Diamond documentary, if you follow me on social media, you know, my husband, Kyle, 3 days after I went to Sapphire, was in a very, very serious car accident. And our world completely stopped, you guys. I remember the day of his accident. It was a Sunday. I texted the people I worked with and let them know early on he'd had an accident so they would know that not coming into the office tomorrow. And that night, after we found out everything that was wrong with my husband, my boss called me and was telling him, you know, the whole list of things, all the way from everything on the right side of his body's broken to his aorta is dissected, that he's on a vent, you know, like literally fighting for his life. And his words to me were, well, I figure a day or two max, and you are going to need to be back in the office. And I did not even reply to him because I thought, number one, that's the kind of like love and support I'm going to get that I've given you 10 years of my life. And I get that. And number two, like, there's no way I can like leave the hospital with him on a vent and go to work, you know? And so because I had Plexus, you guys, I did not have to make that choice. And I did not have to be stressed that I wasn't going back to work. Ended up staying with my husband by his side in the hospital for 47 days. Brought him home mid-March, and I did go back to work in April for a couple of days, and I just finally got brave enough, because I'll admit, like, I was a chicken to quit my job. For one, I felt very loyal to them. I'm a very loyal person, and I had been with them for 10 years. And number two, I just, you know, I was scared to do it. Like, it's a big, you know, a big jump. But I felt secure in my Plexus business, and that was never a hesitation for me. And so quit my job on April 21st, 2015, and 7 days later, I hit Diamond. So I've been a Diamond a little over 2 years. And when I say, like, Plexus has completely changed everything for us, it has. Did I know that Kyle was going to have that accident when I first signed up? Absolutely not. Like, I would have never saw that coming. I would have never seen him losing his arm and like us having a complete life change. But I do feel like, without a shadow of a doubt, that God knew what was to come for us in 2015, and he put Plexus in our life as a way to support us and as a way for us to I guess, just to be able to survive while we were, or to thrive while we were trying to survive, when that came to. And so that's just my story, and just how powerful that this opportunity, like what it can do for people. If we had not had Plexus, our life then and now would look completely different. I would not have gotten to stay with my husband. I would have stayed for like the first week or two. Then when he got out of ICU, I would have had to make that choice to leave him every day in the hospital, go across town, work my 8 hours, and come back. And I would have been worn ragged. And it would have all been pretty much for me to be working to pay for his hospital bills, you know? So it's been a complete blessing to us. And what I love about Plexus is that I do not feel that it is for the few at all. Like, you can look at the testimonies, you can look at the rank advancements. I mean, last month alone, we had 88 Joel rank advancements. Y'all, that is freaking crazy. 88 Joel rank advancements. And, you know, I tell people all the time, yes, we're only talking about the Joel ones, and I can't even add up all the ones that came out in the scoop of all the other levels, silver to senior ruby. But people don't advance to Joel level unless they've got tons of people under them at silver, gold, ruby, senior ruby ranking up as well. And so those 88 Joel rank ups just probably represent the thousands upon thousands of rank ups that people had in our company in 1 month. And so it's for the few, it's not for the few, it's for the many. So tonight, after I've shared my testimony, I wanted to give y'all 10 things that I feel like are kind of a non-negotiable in Plexus. and really in anything you do, if you want to be successful at it. And so I'm going to give you 10 things, and after each one, I'll kind of like elaborate on those. So the first one is that you have to be a product of the product. And I know Hillary's probably said that before. Amanda said it. Tons and tons of other jewels and leaders in this company are going to tell you that you need to be a product of the product. And there are reasons for that. Number one, people want to know what their products are doing for you. Yes, you can share hundreds of other testimonies, and that's awesome to have all those in your back pocket, because your testimony might not be the one that relates to somebody, but people still want to know what it's doing for you. I'll be honest, when I first started, I did not start taking the products until January because, number one, my sponsor only told me that they were for weight loss. And at the time, I was probably at one of the fittest points in my life. So I didn't think I needed them. And I just was kind of like, well, I'll get around to the products when I get around to it. But I promise you, if I had probably started on the products and started talking about what it was doing for me earlier than my third month, I probably would have went silver a little bit faster. And people that take the products and are having those results, they cannot help but share. Maybe you've got somebody and you sign them up and they're not interested in the business at all. But they get on these products and they start having success. They want to share because, y'all, they feel so good. So people that are products of the products, they just exude passion and they exude that excitement that we want people to have from our products. And it just shows. It makes a difference in whether you're just looking like you're trying to get a sale and that you actually are passionate about it and that you believe in them. So number one, you have to be a product of the product. Even if it's just one product, everybody at a minimum can benefit from our probiotic. So you need to be on one product at a minimum. And I know that the majority of y'all are probably on way more than that, and that's awesome, but product of the product. Okay, number two, you have to post on social media. Okay, whatever form you feel like you're best at, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, there's all these out there today. For me, it was Facebook. I just got Instagram earlier this year, and I'm not real good at it. So do not follow me on Instagram at all because I will forget to post for like a week on there. But Facebook is like my comfort, like I'm not going to say comfort zone because I need to get out of that. But Facebook is just what I know, and that's where I've built my business, I would say 99% from Facebook. So that's just where I feel like I still have a ton of people on there. I'm still working that every day. So that's where I feel like my biggest market is right now and like my biggest pool of people. But you have to be smart about it. Number one, you have to still be personal. You still want to share all your personal stuff. Don't get on there when you sign up and start only doing business stuff. But then you want to mix in business, and then you want to do it attractively. I said I've been in it for 4 years. I would definitely go back and change probably the way I did it for the first year or two even. But that just shows you like where social marketing has evolved and where Plexus has evolved and where us as leaders have figured out that, okay, what we did in 2014 and even 2015, like that doesn't work anymore. Like we need to change the game. And so be attractive. I'm sure Hillary has a list of people that she shared with y'all before. These are the people that when I see their posts on social media, I stop and look at it because it just draws you in. They're storytellers. They're very good at attraction marketing. If she doesn't have a list and she wants me to send her who I send my people to, I can definitely do that, Hillary. Just let me know. But it's always good to follow people on social media, get ideas from them, and then mimic them, but make it like put your personal touch on it. Okay. So posting on social media, non-negotiable. It's just an easy way. Like it's free advertisement. I was thinking back, like I said, I did network marketing 10 years ago, and I cannot imagine trying to do Plexus 10 years ago, but when I didn't have social media, I would probably have to do those parties and I'd have to get out in front of people. But social media, I feel like kind of levels the playing field for people. It allows people to still work at home and not have to leave and run up gas bills and like pay for babysitters. It allows people like me that are introverts to like get out there and mingle with people and not feel uncomfortable because somebody's not staring at me. So get on social media and be active on it. Number 3 is that you have to be reaching out, okay? Cold messaging, reaching out, whatever you want to call it. I'm a product of a cold message. Rebecca, my sponsor, is a product of a cold message. And I was telling somebody today that asked me about it. I said, if she had not reached out to me, I would not be doing this today. I had seen her post, was not interested at all, because again, remember, I'd done it before. I had in my head what network marketing was about, and that Kristy Hull could not do it. But when she reached out to me and she said, you know, you've got a big network, you're active on social media, people follow you, they trust you. Like, I was like, okay, she planted those seeds of belief in me. And then I started to watch her post. And so then it took me 4 months before I finally jumped on. But reaching out, you have to be reaching out. The person that asked me that today was saying that somebody had told one of her people she didn't need to be sending cold messages. She only needed to post on social media. And I said, you have to be doing both. Especially if you want your business, if you're newer, or maybe you've like been in it a while and you kind of feel like the people that are seeing your stuff, you kind of tap them out a little bit. You've got to be reaching out. It's going to help your business grow a lot faster and pick up that momentum. Again, somebody might come along after they watch your post for 10 months, but what if you had reached out to them on that very first month? Like, they might have jumped on with you right then. And that could make all the difference in your business. So I say 3 to 5 a day. And whether it's that initial reach out or whether it's you following up. And that kind of goes along with, you don't have to always follow up and always reach out just about Plexus. So that kind of falls into the next thing that I want to talk to you about is number 4 is you have to be continually expanding your network and building relationships. That is so important, you guys. I've had people that have been with me for 2 or 3 years, and around last October, they, were all frustrated, feeling really stuck. And so, of course, the whole time I've been telling them to expand your network, get in these groups, add people on Facebook, add people on Instagram. Like, you've got to build these relationships. They weren't doing it. They were telling me they were doing it. When it finally got down to the nitty-gritty questions, I'm like, well, you cannot, you're preaching to the same audience that you've been preaching to for 2 years. Like, you've got to get new people. And so I'm finally seeing a lot of those people started plugging into groups, started expanding their network, started flipping open their yearbooks, whatever, and adding new people on social media. And they around March, so it took them about 5 months to build back up, but their team started growing again. They started getting that momentum. And so even as a diamond, y'all, 4 years in, I have to go through and delete people off my Facebook because I get to 5,000 sometimes, but I'm still in those Facebook groups. I'm still interacting with people. I'm still sending random friend requests and then nurturing those relationships. And so you need to be doing that. There's an expanding your network challenge, Hillary, on the Jules box that I've put on there before, and you've probably used it. And then another video that's really good to watch is Laura Robinson. She was on the Rock Your Pink Live, probably in March or April. And if you just look up Laura Robinson, Rock Your Pink Live, she is so good at expanding her network and branding herself and building relationships. And she literally gave step by step how she does that on that video. And that's a very good video. If you're not doing that already, it walks you through. So that would be one for somebody to jump on and watch if you've got about 45 minutes, or make 45 minutes, because it will be well worth your investment. Number 5 is that you've got to do your personal development. And I'll be honest, when I first signed up, nobody really talked about personal development, you guys. Again, it just shows you how much we've all evolved and how much the whole company has, because there's tons of things that weren't around when I first started that are available to new people today. But it's key. The people that I see their teams exploding and bringing up these leaders, one of them is, I will call out Jessica Heffley's team. She has a team of, they're just normal people like me and you, but y'all, she is so big on personal development that she gets them in there and she rises up leaders. Like, it is so inspiring and kind of like awing to watch. Another one is Kristen Abard. If you look at her downline, all those people, they are all very, very big on personal development. And the thing is, personal development, it's not only going to help you in your Plexus business, it is going to help you in your personal life. So you cannot go wrong with growing yourself. I'm sure way before Plexus, we all heard that you want to be continuing to grow yourself, even when you get out of school. Like, you never want to stop reading because you want your brain to keep thinking. You want your brain to keep growing, and not just get tired. And I mean, my father-in-law, he is a reader. He's got a library of books, and I've been married for 7 years. So I guess I've known him for 10 probably. And way before Plexus, again, he was always talking about, Kristy, you and Kyle need to be reading. He'd always be bringing us books we needed to read. And he'd say, you need to keep your mind fresh. You need to keep it open. So personal development, if you can read 10 pages a day, if that's all you can give yourself, or 5 pages a day, like, just do something, or listen to an audiobook. Okay. Number 6 is you have to get outside of your comfort zone. Okay. I have done a lot of getting outside of my comfort zone in Plexus. Number 1 is doing videos like this, getting on stage in front of 12,000 people and having to speak, doing opportunity meetings, cold messaging people. Like, that's scary, even as a diamond to me sometimes, especially if it's someone I don't really know or someone that I know will be so good. Y'all, I still have to work up that 20 seconds of courage and just be like, okay, I hit send, like, I can't take it back now, you know? And so pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Every time you stretch outside of that circle, that initial circle, like, you never come all the way back into that circle. So little by little, your comfort zone gets huge, okay? And that will take you places that you've never been in your business. And that is so, so good. But you cannot sit back and be complacent and just wait for things to happen. Talking to my sister today, she does another network marketing company, and she was like, okay, she called me like 4 times. I was trying to do a call, and I finally answered. I'm like, what do you want? Like, I just figured she's calling me. Like, she always said, she's like, well, I had some questions. And so I had to talk to her about getting outside of her comfort zone. And she's like, I know, you're right. Like, that's what I need to do. And so get outside of your comfort zone in whatever. So whatever area you need to. You don't have to do it all at once. Maybe it's you've not done a live on your Facebook page and you've not told anybody why. Like, maybe telling your why, even in a written post, is outside of your comfort zone. Do that. Maybe it's getting on a call. Maybe it's sending a cold message. Whatever it is, work your way outside of that comfort zone little by little. And before you know it, you're not even scared to do stuff anymore. It just kind of becomes a natural part of you. And that again, will pay off way outside of Plexus too. Number 7 is you have to be training and leading your team. Now, am I saying that you have to completely like reinvent the wheel and have your own team page when you first start and feel like you've got all this stress on you? Absolutely not at all. There is no need to ever reinvent the wheel of Plexus. Hillary is an amazing leader, as is Amanda. And y'all, especially now with the Rank Up Roadmap, it's right there, step by step by step. And there are thousands of videos on YouTube that you can look up. But what I mean by saying that you need to be training and leading your people that you sign up is you don't need to sign them up and then just leave them out there hanging. That is how network marketing gets a bad rap. That's how your team, like maybe you've got a bunch of white lines and maybe you just kind of feel like you're taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. And it has to be that training and leading duplicated down. Like, you just can't do it at your people and then not reiterate to them that they need to be doing the same thing down and down and down. I say at a minimum, getting them on a call or getting them in a chat when they first sign up. And the most important thing is you're going to have people that are going to sign up for different reasons. Maybe it's somebody and they just want the wholesale pricing and they want to be successful on the products. Then that needs to be your focus. You need to find out initially, whether before they sign up or when y'all get on the call that very first time. Always tell my people, okay, why are you doing this? Like, what is your why and what are your goals? They don't have to tell me right then and there because sometimes I need to think about it. But it does one of two things. It holds them accountable, okay? And number two, it tells you how you need to work with them and how you need to push them, okay? So you want to help the people that only want to be successful in the products, because again, you never know if one of those people might decide to sell or share after they've had that success. Then you might have the people that they just want enough to cover their products or to make X amount. And they're happy. They don't really have to grow that huge team. They don't have to go to Hawaii. Like, they're content. And you need to know that, okay, that's where they want to be. I'm going to help them be successful with that. And then you're going to have the people that want to run with the business, and they want to bring their husband home from that second job, or they want to make a financial, they want to help their husband financially support, their family. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe it's somebody that, like me, that they just see the opportunity and they're like, okay, why would I not do this? But that way you kind of know, like, how to support them, hold them accountable, and how to push them, if that makes sense. And then the big stuff, just use what your team and what your leaders have already given you. Like Hillary, I know, has your team page full of stuff. Just use that. Go to YouTube and use training videos. Again, don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel, but just be there for support, okay? Number 8 is you need to be an active team member, okay? On your calls and on the team page and whatever else your team does. I tell my team all the time, if me and Rebecca make a post, whether it's a written post or it's a video, and put it on the team page, we've already either watched the video or we've read the post, and we're not putting it up for ourselves again. We are putting it up because we watched it or we read it and we thought, whoa, this is going to speak to somebody, or this is like an aha moment for us, and I know it will be an aha moment for the team. Like, this is something that those people need. And so that is why we put it on there. Same things for these calls. We're doing a book study with our team right now on the Rock Your Network marketing business, and we're alternating Sunday nights, like who's leading the call. The first night we had like 50 or 60 people, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Second night, like 14. And then I was getting ready for the call the other night, and it was my turn, and I was like, one person had commented that they were going to get on, and I was like, I mean, what in the world? Like, I'm taking time to study this book, like make a plan for these people. And like, I've already read the book like 5 times. Like, I don't need to be reading it again, which like 15 people ended up getting on. But still, like, we do this as leaders. Like, we do this for you guys. Like, somebody did this for us and we learned from them. And so it's really just extending the hand and duplicating that down. So be an active team member on the calls and the pages. And Kristy, what do you mean be an active team member on the pages? Well, again, if Hillary or Amanda put something up, I love when people comment and say, like, I don't even have to say, comment your biggest takeaway. Just when they watch it or they read it and they say, oh my gosh, that was so good. Like, that's just lets you know that, okay, people are watching or they're reading it or watching it. And number 2, again, your team members, they duplicate what you do. So if they see that you've commented on a post, then they're like, oh, okay, well, Amanda, she watched that video or she read that post. That's what I need to do. Okay, so again, they watch you to know what they're supposed to be doing. So being active team members, number 8. Number 9 is have unshakable belief. Okay, now, where can you get that belief if you're new and you don't have it? Borrow it. I want you to go to your team page and I want you to search. I don't know how y'all's team page is set up, but I'm sure you could search by like autoimmune diseases or diabetes, or just go to Facebook and type in plexus and thyroid or plexus and gut health. Y'all, all of these testimonies are going to pop up. And when you read these testimonies and you watch these testimonies, you cannot help but be like, oh my gosh, like, these products are changing lives. I watched a video last week. I was like on a power hour deal, and these people are on my team, but they're several levels down. I've never heard them personally like give their testimonies. And y'all, there was like 4 jaw-dropping testimonies. And I mean, again, 4 years in, and you would think by now I would like not be blown away, but I'm still blown away every time. And I have unshakable belief because I've gotten in there. I've gone to those meetings. I've gotten on these calls when people are sharing their testimonies. I'm on events, and I'm just always, if I have time and I'm bored, especially when I was brand new and I knew I had like 15 minutes and I'd already done my IPA for the day, I would go and look up testimonies on the testimony pages so that, for one, I'm building that belief. And number two, if I saw somebody on my news feed that was complaining about X, Y, or Z, then I had in the back of my head, I automatically had a testimony that I was like, oh, I could share with that person. And so it's just a good way to like build a knowledge base for yourself and build belief at the same time. And number 10 is my biggest thing, I'm going to say, and my team knows me by this, is that you have to be consistent, okay? And consistency covers all of those above number 10. So 1 through 9, you have to be consistent in all of that. Y'all, consistency is key in anything you do, in working out and having results, in eating healthy, in getting in a daily routine, getting in a schedule, working your business. If you're not consistent and you don't get in that habit of doing something, it's really hard to do it. I mean, I fall off the wagon sometimes too, but I get back on and I'm like, okay, I'm not missing today. I'm not missing today. And like last night, I told my husband, I've been skipping almost all summer, like my Tuesday and Thursday workout classes, because it's a group deal. And so last Tuesday or Thursday, I said, okay, get me up in the morning, like kick me out of bed, because I have to get up early for it. And I don't like to get up early. And I wouldn't get up. And he finally was like, okay, well, don't be griping about your results. And buddy, those covers flew back. And I was like, oh, I'm going to the gym because I'm getting those results. And so you have to be consistent. And sometimes that's just forcing yourself to do things to get in that habit. But it is the key to anything and everything that you want to be successful in. It does a couple of things for your audience as well. Probably in January, right when I first signed up, we used to have a regular like DDD call, and Jen Hawkins was doing the call. Back then, they weren't recorded, so if you didn't get on the call, like, you missed the good info. And she was talking about, I think she'd been in the business 14 or 16 months, something like that at the time. And she said she had been posting on social media the whole time, and somebody that she'd known had been on her Facebook the whole time she'd been posting, was coming through Denver, and he reached out to her and he said, Jen, you know, I want to meet with you when I come through. I've been watching you for X number of months. I was seeing if this was something that you were just going to do for a little bit and then we'll be on to something else, or if this was something you really believed in. And I finally believe that you believe, and I'm coming through your area, would love to meet with you. And y'all, that resonated with me, and that has always stuck in my mind since very early on in my business, that your consistency on posting, taking your products, wearing your swag, just exuding plexus, like, that builds belief in your audience, okay? It builds belief in yourself, but it really builds belief in your audience. And whether your audience even knows that's what they're looking for from you, that is what they're looking for. And sometimes those people, I mean, I had a girl just message me on my team right before this call, and she's like, I'm so excited. I have been talking to this girl for 2 years, and she just joined my team, okay? So who knows if that lady, it took 2 years of her consistently watching Amina post and talk about plexus on Facebook for her to finally join it. But consistency is what finally did it. And so it's just overall, you need to be consistent in everything you do with plexus. And so, Hillary, now I will take questions if y'all want to do questions, or if you have any comments.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, again, thank you so much. I have like all these notes, and if no one else has notes, shame on you. Such good information. I love everything that you say, and it's true. You know, when you mention that even at the end, as a diamond, you fall off the wagon sometimes, and I'll be honest, like, it happens, but it is like picking yourself back up and getting back into action, because I've had that. People have fallen off the wagon, or even on my team, and their people are coming back, and those people aren't doing the business anymore. So, you know, you have to be consistent, and people want to follow that. You know, people want consistency, and they're scared. They're scared, so they need that belief from you. Who has a question for Kristy? I always feel like this is when I'm the teacher. Like, if someone doesn't raise their hand, I'm going to call on you. Does anyone have a question? Amanda, do you want to say anything? Oh, I unmuted you, then you.
I muted myself. No, I just wanted to thank you, Kristy. You've been an inspiration to me, which I've told you before, since I started Plexus and just following you after you became a jewel. And you're inspiring, and I love how down to earth you are. And I really appreciate you getting on the call, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And one more thing I will add, and I kind of threw this in there when I was talking about the team pages and not having to duplicate the wheel, but y'all, again, I will say, like, you've got great leaders in Hillary and Amanda. Do not take them for granted for a second and listen to what they tell you. Like, they are only telling you that because they've either done it or it's worked for them, or they've done it and it's not worked, and so they're telling you a different way to do it. So don't ever doubt your leaders, and know that y'all are in great hands, and you just need to duplicate what they're doing, and you're going to have the same success that they've had and that I've had.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
You're so welcome. Y'all are awesome. I don't get on YouTube a lot, but I've watched a lot of Hillary's videos, and I love her. I love the way she talks.
That Minnesota, don't you know? Rachel Marie, before, I know a lot of people choke after they send the first cold message. They're not sure what to send after someone says they're interested in learning more about the business. Any suggestions on how not to puke on them? Like, it's like that new puppy, like, yay!
Yes. So I think if you're brand new and you don't like have your own story, like you haven't gotten that first check, then I think it's always good to say, use your sponsor as an example and say, well, I watched my friend Hillary for X number of months, and in 3 or 4 short sentences, tell them what it's done for her. And maybe you might have to ask her, hey, Hillary, really quick, like in 3 or 4 sentences, like, what has the business done for you? Or then take that back and change it over and send that to them. Because again, stories are what people are they're going to relate to. They're not going to relate to facts about the company or figures about the company, or, well, this is the chart and this is what you could make. Like, they are going to relate to a story. And so, especially if you know somebody and you kind of know, okay, well, they're a single mom, or, they were a teacher. There's tons of diamond documentaries that as well that you can share after you've initially sent somebody's story. And I think it's always good to get them on the phone as well. And you don't have to be afraid to share the numbers, but just sharing the stories are what is going to get people hooked up initially.
Absolutely. Kristen wants to know, she said, what if they're interested in the products and then don't do anything about it? Like, they seem really interested. Yes, I love it. And then it's crickets.
Okay. So I think, and today on a power hour, I've seen a lot of people talk about doing this, but I'd never seen a written out message. And somebody on my power hour today shared one that Tara Berger had done on another one of our power hours. And I'll send it to you. But it's kind of just, if they say they're interested, or either you message them and they're not, no response after a little bit, you write them and say, hey, I didn't, especially if they didn't respond. I hope I didn't offend you with, reaching out to you about Plexus. I'm just so excited about the products and the business opportunity. And I've seen what if it's doing something for you, throw that in there, or what it's doing for my friends and family. I can't remember how it went exactly, but it was kind of like apologizing and then saying, I can't remember what it is. I'm having a brain freeze. Sorry. But it's just a good way to open up the door again. And then so that girl said everybody that she sent that to, then replied to her. And she got 3 customers immediately, because the one came back and said, I'm so sorry. You didn't offend me at all. I actually am interested. Send me your website and I'll order. But I've learned that you have to give a lot of grace in this business. And that's to your prospects as well. I know I'm very guilty of telling somebody, oh yeah, I want that mascara. And then I remember to order it when I'm going 75 miles an hour down the interstate. And I remind myself again, Kristy, order that when you get home. And then the next day, I haven't remembered it. So yes, Hillary, I'll send you that message and you can share with them. Sorry for the brain freeze, y'all.
No, it's okay. And I think along with that, and I'm sure you would agree, whenever we're sharing these messages and examples, if that doesn't sound like you at all,
Yeah.
please don't send it. You know,
Yeah.
please,
Yes.
please know that whatever you are doing or sending or whatever method, you have to believe in it and you have to have your words behind it. Otherwise, whoosh, might as well not even do it, right?
Yes, so true. Always like make it sound like you and make it personal to you, if that like makes sense. Hillary's spot on with that.
Yes, I know, because I just see that so many times, or even people posting and it's a really good post and then people just copy and paste it directly into their wall and it's like, oh, please just change it up a little bit, you know. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
social media posting and those people following you. I love it. Oh my gosh, awesome. Anybody else have anything? I could talk to Kristy forever, so I won't keep her on forever. But I'm just, again, so appreciative, and congratulations on your third Bloomies shopping spree. Is that correct? The third one?
It's my fourth, but yeah, third time to Bloomies. Last year was Nordstrom's, but yeah, like it's crazy.
Oh well, if you need any help spending the money, I'll send you a link. Right? But that just goes to show too how like you practice what you preach, because you didn't just get to Diamond and just you arrive and you just sit there on your throne and collect your check.
Yeah.
Theoretically you could do that, but you wouldn't be earning a shopping spree 4 years in a row. You wouldn't be doing that because that's only 4 levels deep. You're continually growing and expanding your business, and it's so incredibly important to do. So
yes, I mean that is so key to never stop. And another thing, kind of to go with that, early on in my business, this was super early, probably January or February. So I was just silver, and I was at somebody's house that had a meeting, and they're talking about continuing to sponsor. And somebody said, does anybody know why we want to continue to sponsor? And this one lady raised her hand and she said, yes, because you never know when, you know, Tina that you sponsored, she's going to decide this is not for her, or the products don't work, or she's just not a worker. And that was another thing that really stuck with me, because, you know, I hadn't really thought of it like that. I was like, oh yeah, I can just sign up a few people and then you're good. But it doesn't work like that. Like, and especially with our comp plan, you want to be as wide as you can possibly be. So I try to still sponsor. I haven't sponsored anybody this month, but last month I sponsored 3 new ambassadors, and that's just always a goal of mine, is to sponsor 3 or get 3 new customers every month, so that I've always got new people coming in and I'm always continuing to duplicate those upper levels.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right. Well, since no one else has anything for you, or if they think of something, I'll shoot it over to you.
Okay.
And thank you so much. Thank you to all of you that joined us live on this call. I can't express to you all enough what it means to me and Amanda to have you live on these and really being all in and committed to your business and taking the time out of the television or whatever the case may be to plug in, because it's like Kristy said, if we're sharing things with you and doing these things, it's because we believe in it and we really want to help you and guide you and grow your business as well. So thank you so much. And if you're watching the recording, thank you too. Bye guys.